And here we are again. It's the Enough Already podcast. My name is Fingers Malloy. She is Tracy L. Connors. Tracy.
Fingers.
I watched the best episode of The Apprentice Tuesday night.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was fantastic. This guy, the president, Donald Trump, was speaking in front of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And he was really effective using the humans in The Apprentice. Yeah, he had a gal who was suffering from a rare disease that was supposed to be dead in like 3 months. You know, after she was born there, she was a 3-month-old, she was supposed to die. And I think now she's like 37. I don't know. She's like a freshman at DePaul or something, right?
Notre Dame. Continue.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, then you had the people who unfortunately lost a loved one due to some illegal immigrant coming in and shooting up the place.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had the war widow.
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason I got confused. They had a bunch of women dressed in white from a cruise ship, apparently.
Weird.
There. But,
okay.
All in all, I have to say, one of the most effective speeches I've seen in quite some time.
You and Van Jones, huh? Had the same thought?
It wasn't what I was expecting. You know, you knew he was going to be more disciplined because he was in front of Congress than, say, your normal, hey, I'm going to fly down to Florida and talk to my friends kind of speech.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, my gosh, was there a dry eye in America watching when he was, especially with the war widow's wife? The 3-minute standing ovation? Did you get misty?
I did.
You had a feeling?
I did.
I know I did.
It was a pretty amazing moment, yeah.
And then you had lefties out there on the social medias angry with her.
Oh, really?
That she was being used as a human prop.
Oh, yeah, how distasteful.
Honoring a war widow.
Yes.
Not allowed.
Jackals.
But holy cow, that was a good speech. Now, don't agree with a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Not really looking forward to that new stimulus plan for the roads and bridges. But all in all, a very good season premiere of The Apprentice. Your thoughts?
I think it should get a second season immediately. I wouldn't be surprised if NBC put out the order this morning.
It was so well done for a number of reasons. First of all, the reaction shots of Democrats. I mean, there was when he said, we've already done the following. Since my election in November, Ford, GM, Chrysler, and he went down a whole list of corporations that are going, Walmart, that are going to invest in the United States and create thousands and thousands of jobs. Then they did a quick shot to Nancy Pelosi, who looked like she swallowed a wasp.
Oh, and did you like her flair?
What was she wearing?
They were all wearing that. I think it's their Save Obamacare button or something.
Oh. Yeah, that was another thing. So he proceeds to say, we need to repeal and replace Obamacare. And, of course, the Republicans stand up and cheer.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had some of these cruise ship women dressed in white. They do a quick shot to them, and they're doing a thumbs down.
Ooh.
Making Trump look even more adult-like. Making Trump look like the grown-up. You're wearing a costume to an address by the President of the United States to joint session of Congress. You're wearing a costume with flair, and you're giving him the thumbs down sign. Who's the child and who's the adult? I'm asking you, Tracy.
Oh, I think that's pretty obvious, isn't it?
I mean, he's playing them.
Yes.
And they keep falling into it. It's priceless. I mean, at one point, I think I even saw John McCain standing and cheering.
Yes, I think that was when they were talking about increasing the military budget,
yes,
and that we're going to win wars, and they cut to him like, yes.
Finally.
Yeah, more wars.
Something I can agree with. But the thing that struck me about the speech, too, was watching the reaction of Republican lawmakers. Mm-hmm. The look in their eyes. Many of them, I believe, were so surprised by what they were hearing. Jaws were dropped, a little misty-eyed, like, holy crap, we weren't expecting any of this, but this is what's coming out of his face, and they were actually agreeing with a lot of it. I mean, that's the thing that cracks me up. I see a lot of reaction outside of Congress from our friends, pundits, saying, oh, listen, how Republican. He wants to spend $1 trillion on infrastructure. Yeah, it does kind of sound Republican. Now, all of a sudden, Republicans don't like pork. Is that what you're trying to tell me? You just don't like it when this Republican likes pork. That's why many of us left the party a long time ago, because they're addicted to pork. $1 trillion infrastructure bill? Oh, as long as my guy's doing it, that's great. We get credit for it. Fantastic. Oh, it was fun to watch. Oh, so fun. The Democrats' reactions. And half of that speech, because of the pork that he wants to spend, the pork barrel spending, the $1 trillion infrastructure program, paid child care leave. Mm-hmm. If that were Barack Obama giving that speech, Democrats would be doing squat thrusts.
Nope.
Sat on their hands.
Yeah, even during the war widow applause.
Yeah. Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And what's his name? Ellison. What's his name?
Who were sitting together.
Go figure.
Which was confounding to me. Shouldn't he hate her?
You would think.
I mean, he's the new representative of the Bernie wing. She burned Bernie. But no, it's all for show.
It is all for show. Apparently, to be fair, Benny Johnson was in the hall. Okay? Mm-hmm. He was in the gallery. And he said that they did stand for the first standing ovation.
Oh.
The short one. But then they couldn't be bothered with standing the other two times.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to know what the average age is on the floor there. I just kept thinking, like, Depends is really missing an advertising opportunity.
Right.
Looking at, it was Nancy Pelosi in particular. It's like, I wonder how many times she's peed since this started. And she didn't look particularly comfortable, and it's difficult to tell what that is.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it was excellent. It was thematic, the speech. Mm-hmm. Which is a little bit different. I don't remember Obama structuring a speech like that. So it was, centered around the idea that we're 9 years away. I don't know why they picked this, but it's an interesting idea. 9 years away from the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Mm-hmm. And then let's go on a journey and imagine what America will look like and all the innovation and growth that we can have between now and then. So it was optimistic. I'm waiting to see if anybody has called it dark, because that was their favorite.
Yeah.
He managed not to use the word carnage, although he did bring up the crime rate and the murder rate and said that's completely unacceptable in our nation, which I believe Democrats sat through.
Of course.
And the big gasp lines, I guess, were when he said radical Islamic terrorism.
Yes.
Which we're going to defeat, which doesn't, I guess, warrant clapping from the Democrats, who just, 2.5 months ago would have cheered that same thing if Obama had said it.
He would have said ISIL. Wouldn't have said
sure.
ISIS. And,
sure. Never said radical Islamic terrorism. That. No.
Well, you'll create more terrorists that way, Tracy.
Oh, sure. This is what I'm constantly told. It's amazing. Everything we do will create more terrorists.
Yeah.
So, but except for drone bombs, which I think there's a compelling case that probably does create more terrorists.
Well,
if you and I were just walking down the street and all of a sudden one of us got drone bombed, I think I'd be a little bit pissed if I survived.
Well, they attach a box of Sherry's berries to the drone bomb.
Uh-huh.
As to not hurt the feelings of the people around the drone bomb who don't get killed.
Okay. Are those halal?
Halal?
I think that's the equivalent of kosher, but for Muslims.
Sure, why not?
The other big gasp line, which you alluded to when you were talking about the props, was he announced the creation of VOICE, which is an acronym for Victims of Immigration Crime Engagement. So these are the families that have lost loved ones due to murder by illegal, pretty much.
Yes.
So that was another misty-eye portion of the evening. But the Democrats audibly gasped when he announced this. That'll live inside DHS.
And what's really great about that, too, is they set them up so well because they were gasping, getting ready to boo and jeer. And then he's like, let me introduce to you some of the victims. Families.
Yes.
And then what you going to do? You going to boo them, too?
Yeah. No, it's masterful. This is the game that the Republicans have never learned to play correctly. So,
Brilliant.
it's really hard to boo the little girl whose father was a cop that got murdered by an illegal that had been twice deported. And Trump was very sweet about that, too. I mean, this was before the part with, what's her name? Karen Owens is the widow of Ryan Owens.
Yes.
And he said something along the lines to the little girl of, the entire country is praying for you and rooting for you. Yeah. So, and I noticed that Clarence Thomas wasn't there and Notorious RBG wasn't there.
Yeah.
I believe there was one other Supreme Court justice missing. And I don't understand why they have to wear their robes.
Oh.
Speaking of costuming, just looks a little silly. Wouldn't you feel weird as a grown adult and having to walk around in that
No,
thing?
I wear a robe like that all the time.
Do you wear anything under it?
Yes. Another robe.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Makes me feel fancy. I did see the only time they stood up to applaud was Antonin Scalia's widow was there. And all of them jumped up and applauded her, which was nice.
Yeah, that was nice. That was another misty-eyed moment.
There were quite a few.
Yeah. No, it was a very emotionally powerful speech, I think.
I mean, when he had the girl there with the rare disease, and he was telling Congress we need to get the FDA out the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's effective as hell.
Yeah.
And then he talked about education as the civil rights issue of our time. Mm-hmm. I'm fairly certain, although I might be mistaken, that that's straight from the mouth of David Horowitz. He used that phrase all the time.
Yeah, there were several times during this speech where he engaged the African American and Latino community. Mm-hmm. And I kept thinking, bigot.
Of course.
Bigot. Racist.
Yes, it's all cynical. He doesn't mean any of it.
Right. Oh. And they got at the end of the speech where he said we had to put aside our petty differences.
Mm-hmm.
He was getting jeered. People were getting angry in those white suits.
The Democrats inside that room don't get it, but some on the outside absolutely do.
Yes. I think that if I were the new head of the DNC,
Tom
Perez, I would call an immediate meeting with all Democrats on the Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Lock the door. Have everyone, the staffers, everyone leave their cell phones outside of the building for a 10-minute powwow, to use Elizabeth Warren's language. And what I would say is you looked horrible last night.
Mm-hmm.
The optics of you sitting on your hands over things that you should be standing up and cheering, such as Americans going back to work.
Mm-hmm.
A pipeline using American steel.
Yeah.
I could go on and on. We all have the same blood. We all salute the same flag. And we all come from the same God. And the sour looks.
Well, that was kind of a callback to his inaugural.
Yeah.
He said something very similar in the inaugural.
And the best part, it was when he was done... Thank you, God bless America, whatever he said at the end. And the Democrats cleared out like they were trying to beat traffic.
Yes.
Like they were at a Stephen Edie concert in Branson. And they had to get out because the buffet was going to close in 15 minutes.
It'll happen.
Cleared right out of the room. And he was just standing there.
Sure it wasn't like med call at the psych ward.
Yeah.
The window just opened, kids. Make a run for it.
It was so priceless. They're running out of the room. Probably, and you're right, half of them because they had to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
They had to hold their bladders for over an hour.
That's
Had to
difficult
run to the bathroom. Of course.
When you're 107.
That's right. Wearing a white suit.
Oof. That would not be a pretty accident.
No. But the priceless thing, usually you'll see a president, after he gives a speech, 5 seconds after he's done, shake the Speaker of the House's hand, shake the Vice President's hand, and then start working the room. He 30 seconds of standing there, soaking in the applause, then he turns around, shakes Paul Ryan's hand, shakes Mike Pence's hand, and then turns around and just keeps soaking up the applause. He just stinks. It's priceless. And watching the Democrats run out of the room, because I have to believe deep down it was an oh shit moment for them.
Yeah, I think so. And there's some pushback. My favorite headline that I've come across thus far from our favorite Think Progress.
Mm-hmm.
Not hacks at all.
No.
I'm sure that Podesta and Neera Tanden don't have their fingerprints on any of this stuff. Here's the headline for you. Pundits applaud Trump's, in quotes, presidential call for white nationalist policies.
White nationalists, eh?
Yes. This is Ned Reisenkopf. Here we go. Here's the little opening. Speaking to a joint session of Congress on Tuesday night, President Donald Trump portrayed the United States as an island of civilization under siege from immigrant cartels and terrorists posing as refugees. Yeah, that's exactly what I came away with. I mean, that whole part about, dealing with criminal aliens and also cracking down on gang violence and stuff like that, which he doesn't talk about at the top of this. maybe 3 to 4 minutes of that hour-long speech.
Yeah.
But, yep, that's all we're going to point to.
That's all they
really
got?
Unbelievable. Yeah, and then they're angry that the left-wing pundits applauded the speech. They're so over the top, it's ridiculous.
Well, this is what I was getting at a little earlier. If this were a Democratic president, okay, you got increased infrastructure spending. Something about working with Canada to free up capital for women who want to start their own businesses.
Yeah,
which
I'm waiting for Justin Trudeau to come by with my big check, and I'll meet him at the door with Ed McMahon.
He brought up women's health care. He brought up was it paid? It was paid
family leave.
Family leave. There was a lot for a non-crazy liberal to like about that speech.
Yes. But it's white nationalist because David Duke tweeted about how much he liked it. He said, hail to the chief, no change on policy to deport illegals and on track to cut major legal immigration necessary to take our country back, which Trump did talk about. We need to have a merit-based immigration system, which is apparently horrifying.
We know we need more people on the dole.
Yeah. No, I mean, and it's so funny because when they talked about that, ooh, the Muslim ban, all this stuff. How often did you hear people say, we're keeping out doctors and we're keeping out engineers and all these brilliant, smart people?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden when he says, hey, we want to let in those people, that's what our immigration policy should be. If you're going to benefit us, come on in.
Yes.
Then they're horrified. And that got 33 retweets. So you know that David Duke is very powerful, influential. And I wonder how many of them came after that was put into this article. And then Richard Spencer also tweeted, after the PC bullshit is out of the way, Trump is making a Trump speech. There you go. That's all you need. 52 retweets, done. The white nationalists are pleased.
I've gotten more retweets out of fake band references.
Yes.
Am I leading a national movement, Tracy, that I didn't know about? I think
you are.
Wow.
Clearly.
I had no idea.
Yes.
Insane.
Well, and the other good part was I forgot about this, that there's always the rebuttal speech or the response.
Yeah.
So they cut to a diner in Kentucky. And there is a man that I've never seen before who's apparently the former governor of Kentucky, Steve Beshear.
Uh-huh.
Old white guy.
Right.
All folksy.
Was he
a whole bunch
flannel?
No, well, he was wearing plaid.
Oh, good.
No tie, no jacket.
He's just mingling with the folks.
Sitting on a diner stool. Talking to you about the good old days. And the only people that you could see looked like they'd been drugged and told to just stare into the camera blankly behind him. Yeah. And they were all white. It was very bad.
This is beautiful. The whole thing has flipped.
Yes.
Remember a year and a half ago how we made fun of Republicans because they were obsessed with the idea we got to get a Latino running for president, or at the very least, a white guy who can speak Spanish.
Yes.
So we got to have Jeb because he can speak Spanish, or Marco Rubio. It'd be fantastic. All of our hopes and dreams will come true. Now the election's over. Democrats have lost Middle America. They lost Pennsylvania.
Uh-huh.
They lost Michigan. They lost Wisconsin. And their solution to the problem is we just need to show Middle America that we're just like one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
by trotting out a retired governor that no one's ever heard of.
This is their plan.
Who, after his two terms, I guess, ushered in Matt Bevin.
Yes.
Yeah, who Trump talked about in his speech. And according to Trump, Bevin just informed him during their meeting over the weekend that Obamacare in the state of Kentucky is imploding.
Yes.
Well, meanwhile, according to the former governor, Mr. Steve, in his little plaids, Obamacare's great. And they made a promise to they made a commitment or a compact, something along these lines. I know it was a C word, with the American people that everybody would have affordable, reliable health insurance. And we're going to stand up and make sure that Trump doesn't take that away. Good luck. That's going out the window.
It's all. This is what these people don't seem to understand in both parties. American voters are much smarter than you give them credit for. A little window dressing doesn't cover the fact that in that speech, there were plenty of things that should have been applauded by Democrats, and they sat on their hands.
Uh-huh.
They cannot say radical Islamic terrorism. They can't do it. They can't be seen standing up and applauding that, or they'll be primaried.
It's just madness.
And the idea that you are upset that American companies are deciding to invest in America and create American jobs, and you can't, you look like you're swallowing a wasp on camera as he's saying this. No ex-Southern governor giving a response to that speech is going to help you if the people in that room look and act like children.
No, and his delivery was so hokey. And transparently bullshit. You know, I don't know why they're clinging to this idea that Obamacare is worth a fight.
I don't, it amazes me that it just seems like they continue to want to prop up a legacy for that man.
Mm-hmm.
Especially a failing one.
Right. Well, and the question still becomes, I mean, this guy didn't go as far as Sanders does with saying it's a right to have health care.
Yeah.
Because if they keep that shit up, I would love to see a class action lawsuit of people who haven't been able to get to afford it on their own, but don't qualify for subsidies because they're being denied their rights.
Right?
Yeah. It's nuts.
Priceless. The whole thing is priceless.
Great. That's so great. And I'm interested, Fingers. I know you're a big Harley Davidson fan.
Yes.
And I guess Harley had gone to the White House to meet with President Trump and talk to him about trade. And according to Trump, he wouldn't name the country, but there is some country out there that when they import Harleys, they tax them at 100%.
Unbelievable.
And I'm interested to know what that is. Well, there goes the whole free trade argument. I mean, everybody pretends like we just have free trade with everybody, and that's not true.
And that's the thing that's so maddening to me. Because many on our side are just cool with that because we get cheap goods imported into our country.
Sure.
And I love cheap goods. I love my cheap television.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get that.
Sure.
But no one in a normal circumstance, if you and I are doing business, we would not put up with being screwed like that.
Mm-mm.
And it's a good old-fashioned screwing.
Yes.
And I loved how he framed that argument. Because he said they weren't complaining. And I can't remember exactly how he said it, but it was a classic line that people stood up. Something like, but I will.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when he said that, I mean, everybody rose to their feet except for Democrats, who normally...
I think they cut to Bernie Sanders clapping.
Yeah, he kind of, for like a second and a half, and then they're like, oh shit, Bernie's clapping. We can't have that. On TV, Bernie Sanders applauding something Donald Trump said. We got to switch the camera somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
If a Democrat had said that, oh my gosh. The Democrats in that building would have been doing jumping jacks.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, sure as hell played very well in the Midwest. When he mentioned Harley Davidson, there was one woman in a white suit that was applauding enthusiastically. So I'm guessing she's from Wisconsin. Or York, Pennsylvania. One of the two. There are two Harley Davidson factories that I know of. One's in Pennsylvania. One's outside of Milwaukee. But that's going to play well.
Yeah. And it's a legitimate gripe. That's why you need bilateral trade agreements.
Yeah. There were several parts of the speech I did have a problem with. Like I said, the family leave.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in an ideal world, corporations there would be no corporate tax rate.
Mm-hmm.
There would be no taxes.
Correct.
In an ideal world. Or at the very least, we'd have the fair tax. But under the current tax structure that we have right now, I guess I wouldn't have a problem with paid family leave if it were voluntary for companies and they got some sort of massive tax credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Sure. I still have a problem with it, but
under the current tax structure, I mean, again, I want it all gone.
Yeah. But it almost is inventing a new entitlement now.
Yeah.
And it's like, set up something along the lines of a health savings account where you can save tax-free money.
That would be better.
But your employer's under no obligation, in my ideal world, to keep your job for you if you need to take a couple months off.
Right.
So that's something you need to decide with your employer. And I do think it'll become an incentive for people. And that's what it should be. It shouldn't be a forced kind of thing, like healthcare became when they put in price cap or wage caps in the 30s. And then all of a sudden, we can just induce you to come by offering you perks in the form of health insurance. Well, and now look at what a mess that is.
Too many people just think it should be okay to take 2 months off of work. Like, it doesn't affect your employer's business in any way whatsoever.
Right, no, I think it's 3 months.
3 months. You lose an experienced worker. You got to bring in a temp.
Mm-hmm.
And they would have to pay you some sort of leave.
Yeah.
You can't act like that won't have any effect on a business. That's crazy.
Sure. Unless you're talking about a barista job or something.
Right.
Where it doesn't really matter. You're not going to fall behind on work.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. If I'm running a business and that's forced on me,
you're not going to hire women?
No.
Yeah.
Not of child rearing age.
No, and that would be a rational reaction to that. So I think you're right. I think this ends up hurting certain people.
Certain people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do you think that you're on a job interview?
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Connors, I have a question for you. You're not planning on blowing child anytime soon, are you?
Yeah. Nope.
I mean,
no, I'm sure that's illegal to ask.
Of course it is.
Would be my guess.
Of course it is. But just between you and me.
Calling my attorney.
You're not taping this, are you?
No. Pennsylvania's a two-party consent state. It would be illegal.
And we're going to go down that same road that we went down in 2009, 2010. Roads and bridges, Tracy. They're crumbling.
Of course they are.
I want to go back and make a video going back to LBJ, every State of the Union address, talking about our crumbling roads and bridges. I'm pretty sure that already exists. It does?
I think I've seen it. Mm-hmm.
Every president are crumbling roads and bridges.
Well, the question becomes, where does all the gas tax money go?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be for infrastructure.
Where's it going?
So, I don't know. Sell all of the roads.
Sell them all.
Sell them off. At least the interstate highways.
If they did toll roads the right way, I wouldn't have a problem with them. But this stopping every 3 miles to pay a toll.
You mean New Jersey?
Ugh. It's ridiculous. I don't know how anyone gets around.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I finally got up to speed from the last toll booth, and I got to slow down to pay another toll.
Well, soon enough, it'll just be the plate readers.
Yeah. No, but if they told me I'm lowering the gas tax, and it'll be illegal for me to raise it back up, and we had toll roads, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I use the road, I pay for it. Especially if it was privatized.
Yeah, and you can have different speed limits and all that great stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think there's an argument to be made, too, for corporate sponsorship of roads. So Amazon.com could buy roads and just advertise all over them.
Yeah. And the incentive to keep the road up would be everyone's going to associate that shitty road with you.
Right.
Oh, crap. Have you been down the Amazon highway in Indiana? It's a piece of shit.
Total shit show. No, and I would imagine road work would happen much faster.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't have to give out to those prevailing wage, give into that garbage. You could actually get stuff done. But I do think that just given what I gleaned from the art of the deal and the building of that skating rink, that Trump understands this, that it's a really bad idea to leave any kind of a building project up to the government. So I'm going to hold out hopes that this goes down well and doesn't cost us a fortune.
I would hope. I mean, he did say we went through this. Oh, with the money that we've spent in the Middle East, we could have rebuilt our infrastructure 2, maybe 3 times if we had someone who knew how to negotiate.
Sure. I don't think that's wrong.
Paul Ryan looked like he was in love last night.
He did. And he and Pence were all matchy-matchy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit odd.
Do you think the wives coordinated?
I don't know. You would think that they would have talked, though. We're going to be sitting next to each other for an hour on primetime television. Should we not look like 8th grade girls who decided to dress the same that day?
Well, it just fit in with the theme of the night with the cruise ship workers in the crowd.
They looked like the captains.
In the white suits.
Oh, God. Such ridiculous human beings. That'll show them.
Women's rights.
White pantsuits.
We don't have any rights. You're congressmen.
Yes. Oh, man.
Stop it. You were able to sit and listen to the president of the United States as an elected member of Congress and give him the thumbs down when you disagreed with something that he said. Please tell me what rights you don't have.
Paid family leave.
Jesus. Look, I don't know what it's like to blow a child, but I got 2 kids, and I didn't get to take a bunch of fucking time off. I know you got to recover, because apparently, I'm told, childbirth can be a stress on your body.
Mm-hmm.
But just, you know what? Wouldn't it be nice if I could take 6 months off? And just go back to my job. That's the way it should be. That's the way it is in France. You know what? I think they get 3 years off. And then they can go back to their jobs. Wouldn't it be wonderful?
Oh.
God almighty. Completely delusional.
Mm-hmm.
You know who doesn't take 3 months off after they have a kid? A female entrepreneur.
Right. I remember Melissa Mayer. I think that's that chick's name. She was Yahoo CEO, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
She set up her crib in her office.
What? She didn't have 3 months off?
No. She wanted to show that you can have it all.
Well.
So bring 3 nannies into work with you.
You've come a long way, baby.
Oh.
Best.
And
Best apprentice ever. Oh. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say the other line that stuck out to me is something I really dislike is him saying that we're going to make it harder for companies to leave our country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I was surprised Pence applauded that. I noticed. I was like, ooh, what's the reaction going to be to that? And Pence
I mean, there's another way to phrase that where you're just like, we're going to make it more attractive for companies to stay here.
Yes.
Instead of fleeing to escape the insane tax burdens and regulatory burdens.
We are going to make the United States so business friendly they're not going to want to leave.
Yes. Not we're going to make you stay, damn it.
Yeah.
That's when I expect Bernie Sanders to jump out of his seat and applaud.
And stop making all that deodorant.
Yeah. Too many choices. I never know which one to pick.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I didn't like that either.
No.
Well, you know, there's always a few lulls in every Apprentice show.
Sure. It was a shame that Arnold didn't make a cameo.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had to have one failed governor make an appearance that night. I mean, oh my gosh. I got a great idea for our response. Instead of having someone, well, I don't know, anyone who may run for president in 2020.
Or who actually holds a position of power at the moment.
Right. We'll get a washed up former governor.
Yeah, we'll pull him out of the villages and send him back to Kentucky for the night and stick him in a diner.
And we'll put a plate of scrambled eggs in front of him.
No, there wasn't any food on the tables or drinks.
Oh, there wasn't. Okay.
No, it was really bizarre. And we've talked about the staging for those things because it's always awkward.
Yeah.
And it looks so bad in comparison to a hall full of people cheering. And so my thought has always been they should have a response speech in an auditorium with an audience.
Well, they did that once with Christy Todd Whitman.
Oh, yeah?
Way back in the day. And I remember she got panned because it was awkward that she was talking to Republicans in the State House.
Oh, she did it from the State House in Jersey?
Yeah.
Okay.
And meanwhile, apparently, it's okay to have a former governor sit in a Waffle House.
I think it was a Cracker Barrel.
Oh, of course, Cracker Barrel.
No, it did look like a mom and pop kind of place. It didn't look dinery. It wasn't a converted trailer looking place.
Yeah, I don't think Democrats would hate it if it were a chain restaurant. It would have to be some sort of mom and pop place.
Yes, it's probably organic, vegan.
Yes.
Spirit cooking diner. Raw foods.
I watched the speech right before we started recording because I wasn't around a TV or any kind of device where I could watch the speech live. And I watched it on YouTube. The New York Times put on the whole speech on their YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. And when the video ended, they had the little videos that may be similar to the video I watched. And there was a 12-minute video. It said, Bernie Sanders' brilliant response to Trump's speech to Congress.
Oh, yeah?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I'm sure it's brilliant.
I'm sure it's brilliant. I mean, I just don't... Okay, what are you going to argue? Obamacare's doing great?
Oh, yeah, they'll argue that with a straight face. That's the man that argued the VA was wonderful for years and went all tinfoil hat when anybody would tell him the truth.
Did you see the photo floating around in the last couple of days at a VA waiting room where an elderly man was just laying on the ground?
Ugh. No, I haven't seen it. I saw headlines about it. I didn't want to look.
He's laying in his chair for... Oh, the whole place is depressing. You got one guy who is in it looks like a Harley t-shirt, and he's got, a beard down to his navel, and he's just leaned over in a wheelchair, not being helped. You got another guy lying on the floor, and Bernie will tell you, we need this for the rest of America.
Yeah, well, no, he's switched off of that. Now it's Medicare for all.
Oh.
Yeah. Because you can't find pictures like that represent Medicare. It's
right.
A lot harder.
Yeah.
Oh.
People will tell you in a lot of states that Medicaid card, is it Medicaid for all or Medicare for all?
I can't remember, one of the two.
My guess would be Medicare, because you don't want to say Medicaid for all.
Well, I feel like it might be Medicaid.
Ugh. That's a useless card in someone's wallet in many states.
Yeah.
It's becoming... Doctors in a lot of states are starting to refuse Medicaid.
Mm-hmm. As they should.
So you're supposed to be happy. Oh, hey, I'm on Medicaid. Oh, great. Can you see a doctor? Well, no. But I've got it.
Yeah, I got that card.
That's the most important thing.
I've got that golden ticket to a chocolate factory that doesn't exist.
Good God. So you're gonna say, okay, if we're going to get rid of Obamacare, it has to be Medicare for all.
Mm-hmm.
But we really should stick with Obamacare because it's doing great work.
Yes.
More people on food stamps than ever before.
Yes.
We're
Which
cool
Trump
with
did
that.
mention at the top.
Yes.
Close to the top of the speech, he gave the actual numbers. 94 million unemployed or out of the workforce.
Yeah, 1 in 5 people of working age not in the workforce.
Mm-hmm.
1 in 5.
Yeah. That would be 20%.
Hey, math major.
Yeah.
And it's really impressive because you're a girl and you're not supposed to be good at math.
I know. Go figure. That's an easy one.
Yes. You're going to run on that and say he's wrong, everything is hunky-dory.
Oh, the unemployment rate's only like 4.9 or something. Come on.
Then why are all these people on food stamps?
Right. Was it 43 million?
Yeah, 43 or 44 million people on food stamps. Why is there 1 in 5 people in this country that are not working, that are of working age, if things are so great? Listen, this is what I kept saying over and over again when people would throw out the useless statistics about the unemployment rate and the stock market. Mm-hmm. Well, it's nice that the stock of the Dow is up.
Sure. For some people, yeah.
For some people. But why... Time in, and you would look at the real clear politics. Is the country going in the right direction and wrong direction? And wrong direction for about 6 years was in the 60 percentile.
Yes.
If things are so great, why aren't people realizing just how great things are? They're stupid? Yeah. Well, they weren't stupid to you people when they voted for Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012. The American people got it right, and yet now they're stupid because they don't see just how brilliant of a job Barack Obama did. That's what we're going to go with?
No. Finally, fingers reality has trumped rhetoric.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. So that poor Kentuckian governor, his sad little diner, just looked ridiculous.
That would just have been great if one of those people from behind slammed his hand on the table. I want a job! I've been out of work for 7 years!
They wouldn't let anybody like that near him. In that room, everybody was docile.
I'm only here because they paid me $75 to be here.
Nah,
I needed the
they gave
money.
him all Soma. Told him to sit still.
We're all on Ritalin.
Yeah.
It's great.
They gave me Ritalin and Oxys. It's a nice balance.
None of them were on Adderall, though, is what you're telling me.
Well, no, I mean, if you actually need that stuff, it does calm you down.
Mm.
It's the same as Ritalin. I mean, in theory, it does the same thing.
I thought Adderall revved you up.
If you don't need it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it balances you out if you're hyperactive. It calms you down. But if you don't have that problem, it speeds you up.
Oh.
Yes.
And it makes you lose a ton of weight.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like a miracle drug.
I know.
They should be handing that out like candy.
It's speed. They are handing it out like candy.
Well, damn it. I got to talk to my doctor.
Yes, just tell me you have trouble concentrating.
I can't concentrate. Adderall.
Oh, you could probably get your kids on it in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I can't concentrate because I'm fat.
There you go.
Fat gets in the way of concentrating.
Oh, speaking of being fat.
Yeah.
The soda tax in Philly continues to implode. Oh, it tickles me to no end. And I would like to thank our listener, Miss Grumpy Seamstress on Twitter, for sending this article over to us from the Blaze. Our illustrious Mayor Kenney, and a reminder to everyone, I don't live in the city, so he's not my mayor.
Okay.
He's just an idiot that oversees the demise of a once great city, is furious that businesses are leaving and people are cutting jobs. So from this piece in the Blaze, one of the city's largest beverage distributors is planning to cut 20% of its workforce. And grocery stores across the city are also planning to shed jobs to make up for declining sales. Because get this, people are leaving the city to go do their grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Imagine that. So Philadelphia is not that large. It's not like Los Angeles where you can't get out of the city limits within 2 hours. Mm-hmm. So it's not that difficult to just get outside of the city limits and buy your soda. So if you're already going to do that, you might as well do all of your grocery shopping.
Well, clearly what you need now is some sort of soda police that will make sure that you're not bootlegging Mountain Dew from the suburbs into the city.
Checkpoints.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the mayor is furious because these companies, be it, a local deli or the supermarkets, are passing along the tax to the consumers.
What did your mayor do? Oh, he's not your mayor. But what did he do before
he was on the city council? And
before he got on the city council, had he ever worked in the private sector ever?
No. This is why they're price gouging. I assume that, Fingers. I don't know that for certain. He could have been a lawyer or something.
Imagine that a business owner would pass along his cost to the consumer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Amazing.
And see, they didn't think this was going to happen because the tax is applied on the transaction between the distributors and the retailers.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. And I can't remember the numbers from before, but we were talking about the syrup is taxed.
Yeah.
And I think it was something like a bag of the syrup that's used in the machines costs something like $60, and the tax now is almost $60. So it's just wild that they expect that. They'll just eat that.
Of course.
Yeah, they're in business to make $0. But they're not showing any signs that they're going to give in on this. Oh, I might have to start leading the great soda riots of 2017. Yeah, because even diet sodas are subjected to this tax.
Well, that's ridiculous.
And this is all going to pay for a fabulous pre-K.
Ugh.
Yep. Which will never happen. I'm sure they'll put it into effect, and then it'll just be another suck on the budget.
But they have to find money from somewhere else. Probably pull it from some sort of program that helps the elderly.
That's the lottery?
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I'm envisioning a new Philadelphia lottery.
Yeah. Oh, it could happen. I mean, they had casinos come in for this.
You have a casino in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Why am I just finding this out?
I told you that when you were in town.
Why didn't we go there?
Because I don't like casinos.
You love Vegas.
Yeah, it's not about the casinos. It's about the open container. You can't do that in Philly.
Ugh.
There's no point in going to the casino. I've been there once. It was boring.
Oh, you're killing me.
Sorry. The Sugar House Casino, located on beautiful Delaware Riverside.
Is it in a piece of shit area of Philadelphia?
Not particularly. No, it's okay.
Would you want to be walking around with an open container outside that casino?
Sure.
Okay.
It's on a very highly trafficked road.
Well, I mean, there are some areas in this country they put casinos in that aren't the best areas in the country. That's all.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Indiana.
All of Atlantic City. But yeah, so on top of this stupid, soda tax in the city, they also have the city wage tax. So if you live in Philadelphia, you're paying an extra 3.92% on top of the state tax and federal income taxes.
Good God.
And then if you don't live there but you work there, you only have to pay 3.4912%. And these are 2014 numbers, so I don't know if they've increased it or not.
I liked Philadelphia. I really did. I enjoyed, the tour you gave me and the local taverns we went to.
Yeah, there's some neat old buildings and cool places in Philly, but
I wouldn't pay that to live there.
No.
It's not that cool.
No, and you wonder why they have trouble attracting businesses.
Yeah.
So without Comcast, I don't know what the heck they would do, because they're busy building a second building.
Why does Comcast have some sort of love affair with the city of Philadelphia?
Well, the family that owns Comcast is from the Philadelphia area.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure they got all kinds of sweet deals to do that too.
You think their soda is taxed?
No, they probably import it from the suburbs when they come to work every day. So ridiculous. But this is all a giant conspiracy, by the soda companies, so that this doesn't spread to other cities.
Wow.
I love seeing the left go full conspiracy theorist. Price gouging. Can we talk about price gouging for a second? Nobody ever bitches about this, but since I flew recently.
Sure. We got Ash coming on here in a little bit, so.
Okay. A bottle of water at the airport, $5.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm not even talking about the giant one. Like, normally I'm walking around like a giant jerk in case I end up stuck somewhere.
You're talking about a 20-ounce bottle.
No, I'm talking about a bigger one.
Oh.
I normally walk around with the biggest bottle of Smart Water.
Yeah.
And I think I bought one yesterday at the grocery store and paid $1.89.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a bottle that's not that large. It's maybe a 1-liter bottle in the Los Angeles airport, $5.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Price gouging. It's your only option. They make you throw out your water at TSA.
Yeah.
And now some of the airports do have like filtered water stations now.
Yeah, I have noticed those. I know you carry around a water bottle that you can fill up.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Some of us don't have a huge purse.
Sure.
I mean, I usually, when I do carry a water bottle, I keep it underneath the 2 robes I wear when I go out in public. But that becomes a hassle. I want to buy a bottle of water. I don't want to spend $5 on it when it's, 3 cents worth of water in that bottle.
Yeah, it's tap water from Centralia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
No, it's ridiculous. And on the way out west, we stopped in Phoenix, and I was like, I'll just go get a sandwich and a bottle of water. I think it was $20.
I was going to say, did you have to finance it over 30 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had flashbacks for your discount shopping network. Like, my God, I could deck myself head to toe in Raisinite jewelry for less than I'm paying for a sandwich and an apple and a bottle of water. For like $19.50. Dry heave. Like for 2 slices of bread, some tomato, 1 slice of roast beef. I did get a free mayo packet, which was really exciting.
Good for you. Stick it to the man.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's a situation where they really do have you trapped. You don't have any other choices.
Right. starve or have a ridiculously overpriced roast beef sandwich.
Or plan ahead and hit a store on your way to the airport, get a sandwich, and then let it get all warm and moist in your bag.
Well, you said moist.
I know. I don't have a problem with that word.
I don't get why women have a problem with that word.
No.
All right, you want to bring Ash on?
Sure.
She's a local in the area, so she doesn't have to worry about going to the airport and buying a $5 bottle of water. Ash Scow of watchdog.org and the New York Observer is here. Ash, what was your take, or what is your take regarding CPAC, your experience? What did you take away from the conference?
That it was very low energy, and there just wasn't any in the past. I mean, I remember ever since I've been.
You're in. Are you going through a tunnel right now?
No, I can't talk to anybody at my own house. It breaks up in my own apartment. Like, it breaks up. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, this probably isn't going to work.
All right.
Ash Scow, New York Observer, Washington Examiner. I'm so used to saying Washington Examiner. Watchdog.org.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll try.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, we'll try this next week. Anything else you want to talk about, Tracy?
Yeah, there was another interesting story that I came upon in my travels across the internet, also from The Blaze. Regulation madness. Hollywood wants to make it illegal for this website, which is IMDB, Internet Movie Database, to list their age. So.
Wait, so what they're... Okay, now IMDB,
Internet Movie Database.
Now, for those who aren't familiar with this, I've seen this website before. If you Google a hot actress's name, usually you'll get the Wikipedia page, and then this IMDB site will come up, and it'll have a list of everything they've been in and what they've done with their career, and at one time their age. Now, you're telling me that California is saying that they aren't allowed to put an actor or actress's age on the site anymore?
Yes. So according to Sarah Gonzalez over at The Blaze, last week a federal judge temporarily blocked the enforcement of a recently enacted California law making it illegal for certain websites to publish actors' ages. So the bill is AB 1687, and it targets websites that list actors' biographical information, and it states that the websites that, quote, provide employment services to an individual for a subscription payment, because you can pay for IMDb Pro, which gives you more information, must remove a subscriber's age from their website at that subscriber's request, regardless of whether the website receives the information directly from the user or from outside sources. So they believe that this law is specifically targeting IMDb, which, as you said, it compiles resumes and biographical information, blah, 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 because they're worried about age discrimination.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
So the Screen Actors Guild, also known as SAG, urged state legislatures to pass the law to protect their members from employment discrimination.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
If I want to know how old Jennifer Aniston is, and it's not going to be on IMDb, all I'll do is go to Wikipedia or one of the other million sources of that information on the internet.
Well, that's why a judge struck this down, because it's absurd.
Who comes up with these ideas?
Right. And as if, okay, so the age of the actor or actress isn't on IMDb. Do you think they're going to be able to conceal their age when they go in to do a read?
Oh my gosh, sir, we're going to have you read for the part of Eddie Munster, but you're 62 years old. Did you think you were going to fool us? Well, they took
That's age discrimination.
They took my age off of IMDb.
IMDb.
IMDb database. IMDb.
Yes. Yeah, I thought I could totally slide by. Telling me I can't play Tiny Tim, Christmas Carol. No, get the hell out of here.
It's so absurd.
Yes, if there was ever a class of people that need to be protected from age discrimination, my God.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine if they listed their weight. I mean, sometimes they list their height too. They should go after them more for that because people are shocked when they see actors in real life.
Yeah.
Like being out in Los Angeles a couple of times, people out there were like, "Oh my God, I just saw so-and-so today. They're really short."
Yeah, I had no idea that Tom Cruise is really short.
Yeah.
I don't watch any Tom Cruise movies, and I just assumed if you're going to have Tom Cruise play someone like Jack Reacher, who's supposed to be able to kick 75 people's ass in like 3 seconds, I would hope that he would be taller than 5'3".
Yeah. With lifts, he is. But nope. So at least for now, sanity has prevailed in that case.
I mean, good God. Are you on IMDb?
I am.
Is your age on there?
Yes.
No, you folks out there, if you want to know how old Tracy is. Look, I don't know enough about websites like that regarding if that would have not been struck down by a judge. I wonder if it would be one keystroke to eliminate age on these profiles, or if someone would have to individually go in this database and delete the age of everyone in it. I would think it would be one keystroke, but still.
I would think so. But it's ridiculous. As you said, you can go to Wikipedia or other sources to find out how old people. I mean, quite often if you read the trashy gossip magazines, they have the person's age in parentheses right next to their name.
And I know not everyone is involved in a high-budget production, but I would think if I were some studio exec, it wouldn't take too many resources to be able to find out how old Jennifer Garner is.
Right.
Unreal.
Well, that's what you get up to when you have a lot of free time and money and lawyers at your disposal.
By the way, whatever happened to Jennifer Garner?
She's around. She's doing the Capital One commercial.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, she's still hot and everything. I saw her in a crappy movie, Draft Day, a few years ago with Kevin Costner, where it was about the NFL draft. And, you know, I haven't seen her in anything since. And you know me, I have my finger on the pulse of Hollywood.
Absolutely. You were glued to the Academy Awards on Sunday night.
Oh, I certainly was. Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I mean, I cannot believe they opened that envelope. And it doesn't...
You're talking about Faye Dunaway and Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty, Faye Dunaway. And it says Emma Stone? Emma
Stone.
Isn't that the broad that you go to learn foreign languages from?
Yes.
Emma Stone.
Yeah. Like, Rosetta Emma Stone. That's her full first name.
Yeah. If I want to learn Arabic, I go to Emma Stone. But it says Emma Stone La La Land on it.
Yes.
At that point, I would think to myself, if I had that envelope and I opened it and it said Emma Stone La La Land, I would step back and say, Jimmy, can you come here a second? I mean, is it that tough to just confirm Jimmy may have
especially
a problem.
when your entire job is reading.
Yes.
Things that other people wrote off of cards.
Line?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, but I love that the scandal that was created, right? So the Daily Mail had a piece about this on Monday, so the day following this.
Yeah.
This is the headline. And I like the Daily Mail, you don't have to read the entire articles because they just sum everything for you at the top, which is great. But I did read all of this because it's so hilarious. This is the headline. It's a paragraph long. The moment a Cornell-educated accountant and married father of 3 who loved getting press and taking photos with celebrities caused the biggest blunder in Oscar history. That's the headline. Try to fit that in a tweet. So PricewaterhouseCoopers, the accounting firm, is always in charge of the voting process and then the envelope delivery. Mm-hmm. So this guy, his name is Brian Cullinan. He's 57 years old, and he looks like Matt Damon.
Right.
Got put under a heat lamp for a couple of years. I mean, it's shocking how much he looks like Matt Damon, but just aged, not to perfection. So he's been doing this for a couple of years, the one that comes with the envelopes. And he's apparently a bit of a star fucker. I mean, his whole thing is just like, look at me with the selfies with these people and this people. And there's something to me that's a little bit odd about a 57-year-old man that's that interested in hobnobbing with celebrities. Yeah. That's an accountant. Come on, dude. So he's the one that's responsible for handing off the wrong envelope. And they go into great detail about how this all works. He's there with a woman from PricewaterhouseCoopers, and they share the responsibility of handing the envelopes out. Uh-huh. And so she stands, I can't remember if it's stage left or stage right, and he stands at the opposite one because people come in from either side to present. So what had happened was Leonardo DiCaprio comes out to present Emma Stone's, and he comes out from whichever side of the stage this woman was on. So she hands him the envelope that says Emma Stone in it. So meanwhile, this guy Brian still has the Emma Stone envelope in his hand because Leo didn't come out his side. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't pick up the new envelope.
Okay.
And hands Warren Beatty the same envelope that just was opened, but the duplicate copy of it. That's how there end up being 2 envelopes. Mm. But I love this because at the bottom of this long article, they say PricewaterhouseCoopers is starting an investigation to find out how this happened. I just told you how it happened. What investigation do you need? The guy wasn't paying attention, obviously. There are 2 copies of each envelope, and he just didn't chuck his.
And, let's face it, the night had gone on for, 15 hours?
Approximately.
So he's probably a little tired. Probably has some champagne in him.
Sure.
And everything gets screwed up.
Yeah. No investigation necessary. Thanks. We solved the case.
Did you see Jimmy Kimmel's description of what happened through his eyes?
No.
He was watching the whole thing in the crowd. Because he was sitting next to Matt Damon. Mm. And they were going to end with him turning to Matt Damon saying, well, you weren't nominated for anything. There was no time for you. The same bit where, he's been doing for years. Matt Damon gets bumped. And then he said, well, something's going on there. I'm sure the host will take care of it. And then he said, oh crap, I'm the host. So he went up there and did whatever he did to try to straighten it out. But it's just so priceless.
Oh, it's just a monumental screw up. And it was so awkward. You'd think they would have figured it out the second that Warren Beatty said that La La Land wins.
Yeah.
But they let 2 different producers from that movie get up and say their piece. And then you see all this hubbub, and old Matt Damon's on the stage running around frantically. And it was confusing. It's like, why is Matt Damon? Oh, that's not Matt Damon, but that guy looks a lot like Matt Damon. Why is he stealing envelopes out of people's hands and taking Oscars away from them? Mm. What's going on? And then the first producer that spoke from La La Land had to come up and say, actually, there's been a gigantic mistake. And this is not a joke. But Moonlight won. There's just chaos. And then Warren Beatty's up there trying to explain away why he was awkward reading the envelope. And
now, who do you feel worse for? The people who had the award ripped from their hands, or the people who really didn't get their full Oscar moment when they won?
The people who didn't get their full Oscar moment when they won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a big buildup. It's the final award of the night. And it made some sense because up to that point, La La Land had just almost swept the final 4 awards, which are director, actor, actress, and picture.
Yeah.
So the director won, then Emma Stone won. Ryan Gosling didn't win. And then it's picture. And you're just like, oh, okay, this makes sense. That what just won for Best Director and Best Actor and all this, or Best Actress would win.
Yeah.
And Moonlight had won some other awards along the way. I think supporting actor or actress or something like this.
I think that was my favorite film of all the ones that were nominated.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I didn't see any of them.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yep. But that was just amazing. And then there's, of course, the theorizing that this was all done on purpose to generate attention. And like, I don't know. I mean, that's a really kind of devious.
Yeah, and you're not going to... You want some sort of controversy at the Oscars, I guess, but not based on a colossal fuck-up.
Right. And it's going to damage the reputation of PricewaterhouseCoopers to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway look like morons because apparently they're only semi-literate.
Line?
Yeah. I mean, it's not as good. It's almost up there. I guess the Elizabeth Taylor moment just pales a little bit in comparison to this when she forgot to read that Gladiator had won at the Golden Globes. But there's more of an excuse for that because they drink through that whole thing.
Yeah.
And she did end up saying the correct movie.
But here's the thing, too. If it's me, and I am going to hand off the biggest moment of the evening to two people, it's not going to be two people that are just shy of 100 years old.
Correct.
Call me an ageist.
But it was the 40th anniversary of Bonnie and Clyde.
Ugh.
I know.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
You roll out Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway to introduce the clip of everyone who died over the last year. You know?
Yes.
Just, half to for respect for old Hollywood, and the other half to show that Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway are still alive. Mm-hmm. You don't give them Best Picture. I'm just saying. How could you open that envelope and say, oh, well, this is clearly the right envelope?
Wow. It's amazing. It's breathtakingly stupid. I don't know who should get more of the blame on this.
I blame Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe it was in a different language.
That's possible.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Where can everyone find the Enough Already podcast, Tracy?
You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Facebook, and at EnoughAlreadyPodcast.com. This is our second podcast of the week. Check out our earlier podcast, which was a CPAC wrap-up, and also interviews with Kurt Schlichter, Stephen Cruiser, Carrie Pickett, and Scotty Nell Hughes. SoundCloud was actually down for a little while yesterday. It was part of that whole, I guess, internet trouble that we had on the East Coast. Yes. Did you have a problem with your internet yesterday? It was acting up. Huh? Well, anyway, everything is back to normal today, so go to SoundCloud and check out that episode as well. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at FingersMalloy. Follow Tracy on Twitter at Tracy L. Connors. Music for the Enough Already podcast is provided to us courtesy of YoPolymusic.com. Thank you so much for listening. We will be back next week with an all-new Enough Already podcast. Oh, and one more thing. You can now catch Enough Already Radio in southeastern Michigan on WAAM 1600 AM. Starting this Sunday, 6 a.m. Get up early, grab a donut, grab your coffee, and tune in to Enough Already Radio on WAAM. Listen to it at WAAMradio.com.